So I've been using this book. I believe this is the final copy that we have in the bookstore, so it's easy to read and it's powerful. It's the 10 Principles of Abundance and Prosperity, Transform Your Life. It's by Chris Lee. And amazingly, Principle 10 is actually the principle of teamwork, and I changed it to community. Now, when I started this, I had no idea that today was also going to be our annual meeting. So I just love how things unfold and work out for all of us. And so in talking about community, let's talk about what that means. We're going to talk about this more during the annual meeting. What does it really mean to be in community? Why do we get up on Sunday morning when there's a 10 o'clock football game? Just saying. You know, whether it's your team or not, still it's football. For me, that's important. Yes, I did wear this because the Seahawks are playing on Monday, and I forgot that the rule was we wear jerseys on home games, and so somebody pointed out it is the Sounders colors, and what it says is Seattle football. And so we're the only country that calls it soccer, so I am appropriately dressed today. So thank you for community for helping me out with that, because I was like, oh yeah, that was. So why are we here? What do? We get up in the morning and we come here. Why? And we're going to have you look at that during the annual meeting. Why do we do this? You know, why do I do it? Because I can only speak for myself, and somebody might say, well, of course you do it. You have to be here on Sundays. But I had a calling, and the calling was to build community. The calling wasn't necessarily to be up here speaking to you every Sunday. The calling was about building community. And I've shared this before. That really became evident to me when I was in my ordination. And at the time, to become an ordained minister, you did 2 additional years. In our philosophy, when you become a minister, you are not automatically ordained. They give you 2, now it's 3. 3 years to practice being a minister to find out, is this really your calling? Because as they talked about yesterday at the graduation of the student, Bernie, of course, and there were 6 others that graduated with him, what they talked about was that there's more to ministry and being a minister than Sundays. Like Monday through Friday. Thank you, Bernie. Like there's a lot of other days, and there's a lot of other things to be done. And there is an excitement about doing a Sunday service, and some people, they think, oh, that's what I want to do, and then they forget about all the other stuff that there is to do, including sometimes, yes, unplugging toilets, and that's about being in community, right? Yeah, right? But why are we in community, or how do we be in community? So one of the things I recommend is when you consider being in community, it's about putting yourself aside. It's about putting yourself aside and thinking about everybody as a whole. We come here for lots of different reasons. We come here because we've made best friends with people that are here, and this is the one time a week we get to see them. We come here because we love the band and we love the music, and it lifts us up. We come here, I hope, because I have a message, and that message inspires you through the week to carry you on. But mostly I think we come here to connect because as humans, we have this deep, deep desire to connect with each other. And I think in our society today, we have forgotten that. And it's very easy to isolate and to feel alone, because somehow we believe our cell phone, which it does, thank you everybody on Facebook for being here with us remotely. However, a lot of us live with that idea that that cell phone connects us to people. And it doesn't. I can go over there and hug that cell phone, and those people may realize my intention. They can't feel the warmth. They can't feel the love. And so that's why I show up. I show up because I want to feel your energy. I want to feel what it's like to be with people that love and support each other unconditionally. Are we always going to get along? Oh, good God, no. You know, the hope is, yes, we will. We're a church. We're supposed to all love and adore each other. That's just not true. You know, I am sorry, but this is about being real, remember? And so within this big tribe, you will find a smaller tribe, and those people are going to be, you know, your tight friends. And yet as community, we share with each other always as a larger community, right? And so one of the things we've done here, and I haven't talked about it enough, and we're going to talk about it at the community meeting, and I don't know how deep, so I'm going to talk about it now, is we've started something called Care Circles, and we started it 2.5 years ago? 3 years ago. We have 6 care circles, most within the Burien area. We have one that is up north. God bless their souls. Not only do they do a care circle together, they come here for Sunday service. And they live in Bothell and the north end of Seattle. So I just, you know, raise and praise them not only for having a care circle to take care of each other, but and for showing up here on Sunday mornings. So care circles are about no more than 10 people coming together once a month and doing spiritual practices and sharing with each other and taking a deeper dive than we are allowed to do here on Sunday, right? Because here on Sunday, it's jam-packed already. And yes, we offer sitting with people after service, but you're not taking a real deep dive with somebody to find out, you know, what's up in their life, what's going on. And so that's what care circles do. So I encourage you, if you don't belong to one, to consider joining one. Our care circle that I belong to, Dr. Carol Batt is part of that. Good morning, Carol. I assume now that Teresa walked by and said good morning with her, and she is doing much better. And so she is watching us remotely. She's watching us remotely because she's still not able, she's not fully mobile yet. She's getting better and better. Her cast is off, and she's walking around the hospital. So that is a huge improvement for her. And what I know is not only did the care circle support her, this community supported her. Colleen Brady goes to see Carol almost every single day. And I personally can't thank you enough for that. To me personally, that's community. Because, you know, Carol and I have a very, very special relationship. And she knows I can't be there for her every single day, even though I want to. And so I just am touched that Colleen has done that. I know that Kim is touched by everybody that not only, if you didn't show up at her house, texted her or called her and just said, how's it going? And sometimes it wasn't going good. And yet she needed our love. She needed our connection. That is community. Facebook isn't going to get you that. Although I accidentally called her through Facebook. And we're kind of talking to each other wondering how this happened because I pressed the wrong button. But it's about taking care of each other. I personally now have over 1,000 friends on Facebook. I'm lucky if I can remember all of your names. Those aren't friends. Some of them aren't even acquaintances. They are people that may have the same desire as I do to grow their centers, and so we follow each other to see, you know, what is the CSL down in Las Vegas doing? What's the CSL in New York doing? So we connect. Do I know those people? No, but there is a connection there because we do something similar. And as I shared with Courtney, I accept a lot of friends because I know that they should, my hope is, as my friend, they will check out Genesis because it says that's where I work and there's a link on my page. And so this is my family. You know, whether you like it or not, you are my family. Because truthfully, other than my husband and his side of the family, you're all I've got. And I'm good with that. I want you to know that. I am good with that. I would rather have all of you as my family than have a relationship with somebody that is not real. And so I thank you for being my family and being a part of my life. That's what community does. Don't ever think that when you show up here, you aren't seen and heard, like we say. And trust me, all you have to do is stop me. Because sometimes I'm like a bee. I will buzz around because there's things that I think I need to do. And I will buzz around and I will forget to stop and say, oh, good morning. Now, when I do that to my husband, he reminds me, Gayle, stop. And I invite each of you to do the same. I've done it with some of you, and they will stop me. But if I come up to you and immediately go into something that I need or something that I would like you to do, all you have to do is say stop. And it will bring me back into my body and remind me the most important thing I need to do is to remember why we're here. And we are here so we can feel part of something. We are a team. We're as much a team as the Sounders or the Seahawks, and I'm going to throw this out here just because she's family, the 49ers or the Miami Dolphins or the Chargers. There you go. And that's family. And the Broncos. That is family. And it's interesting because when somebody said about my outfit, Courtney said, I almost wore a 49ers jersey because it is my home game. And it reminded me maybe we should just wear our jerseys during football season because we are family and we are, and if you don't have a jersey, that's okay. You don't, and it doesn't have to be, I've always said this, it doesn't have to be a football jersey. If you like football, soccer, wear that. If you like basketball, wear that. If you don't wear a jersey, it's okay too. That's part of being community. It's important to me that you show up. It's important to me that you feel like you belong. It is important to me that we grow this community, that when we say out in Burien, oh yeah, I belong to Genesis, people aren't going to say, what's that? Let's be that community instead of saying, oh, you know CSL Seattle. Oh yeah, I know CSL Seattle. Well, we're like that. Let's start having people say, well, you know Genesis. We're like that. We have a powerful message, and the only way we are going to be able to spread that message is to really spread that message. To be vocal enough to say, this is what changed my life. How many have a story they could tell about how this philosophy changed their life? Now imagine if you took the time to tell one person. One person. Or if you took the time to tell two people. Maybe they will show up here, maybe they won't. But they'll tell somebody. They might know somebody. Because I really believe community is about the joy of sharing our ups and our downs and our successes and our failures. Nobody wants to fall down by themselves. And so when somebody's doing something and they fall down, there is no better place to be than here, where people can lift them up, brush them off, and say, go do it again. It's only a failure if you don't get up. 10,000 times Edison tried to do the light bulb. 10,001 he succeeded. He never once said he failed. He found 10,000 ways not to do a light bulb. Each one of you has a passion within you that if you allow it to ignite, you not only make this a better community, you make this a better world. And so that's what I invite you to do as a community, to show up, to be here, to support each other, to love each other up when things are messy, and to love each other up when they're just fabulous. Is one easier than the other? Absolutely. But guess who needs us more? The person whose life is messy. And so that's why I do community. I invite you to think about why you do community. Why do you call Genesis home? What is it that says, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to church today even if I don't feel like it? Lay in bed for an hour, talk yourself into it, and hopefully it's worth it. And so in the vein of community, I would like to invite up our two newest members, Loya Brown and Michael Johns. There you are. In claiming membership, here, Courtney, so people will be able to hear you. In claiming membership at Genesis Global Spiritual Center, you are deliberately making yourself a part of this community. This is not the center and its members. There is the center as its members. The body of the center is composed of individuals who are its hands, its feet, its head, and most importantly, its heart. As an individual, you will be bringing your unique expression of the presence of Spirit to the community, and I thank you for that. Through each other, we experience the presence of God in a greater way. I now present Courtney Campbell, President of the Board of Trustees, who also has words of welcome and wisdom.
On behalf of the current members of our center, I welcome you into membership. You are unifying with each other, with the members of the center, and with members of centers throughout the world in a warm, loving fellowship of spirit. Through your practice of science of mind principles, you make a difference in your life and in your community. You help us uphold the commitment of the center, which is to provide an atmosphere in which we know that natural home of God is within the heart of each person, the means to experience this presence within and our oneness with each other, and a place to express this truth about ourselves. We are whole, complete, and perfect just as we are. I invite you to fully embrace membership, the center, and everything that membership implies to you.
Our bylaws define members as loyal, active, and supporting. Therefore, I ask you, will you love this center and support it with your time, your talent, your treasure, and your prayers? So on behalf of the Board of Trustees, the community of Genesis Global Spiritual Center, I welcome you both as members. Thank you. All right. That was good timing for community also. So let's pray. You can close your eyes if you choose, knowing that right here, right now, we are living, breathing in the presence of the divine. It is everywhere, so it's certainly right here and right now. It is in and through and as each and every one of you. It is that power, that presence, that one. It is the calling within your heart that moves you forward. It is the delight that you see through your eyes when you look about and you see God in form walking around on the planet with you. And so what I know for each of us right here and right now, as we open up our hearts to that greater yet to be, that wondrous expression of God as us, that we do that as community. We embrace that as the one, individualized as each person sitting here. and yet knowing that we are not only do this individually, we do this collectively. We are Genesis. We are that which is waiting to be birthed into a community that expresses itself so joyfully. People are asking us, what changed your life? What have you got going on? So that's what I know right here and right now for you, for this community, for all of us, that we express the divine fully. And so I give thanks for knowing that each one of us has that voice within us that is urging us on to do what that calling is, that is calling in our heart. And I give thanks for knowing that we answer that call and say yes. And so with all of these words, I turn it over easily and effortlessly into that field of infinite possibilities that I know is the law, which is God saying yes to us over and over again. And so what I say back is yes. Thank you, God. And in that yes, together we say, and so it is.